So this week, this past Friday, I believe it was, Tory Lanez breaks his silence with an album. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it was 18 tracks.
Maybe. Let me see.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't even care to count.
I didn't even
listen. I'm not. Go ahead, keep breaking it down. I'm sorry.
I'm not supposed to. I'm introing it. You supposed to break it down.
Yeah, no, but keep breaking it down. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut off your intro. My bad.
Oh no, you good. I was like, hold on. You did your research, right? Because
it's funny too.
That was nervousness. Like, hold on. I got to pull some stuff out my behind.
While I'm looking the album up, I made sure to not accidentally click play because I still didn't want one of my plays to go towards his streams. So I was like, don't click. It's 17 tracks.
Oh, 17. Okay. Yeah. Thanks. Tory Lanez drops an album called Daystar. As we learned a few weeks ago, when I say we, I mean y'all learned a few weeks ago that his name was Daystar Peterson. Oh
yeah, you did.
People were in outrage because it was dropped at a time where it wasn't the best of times to be dropping no album after you have allegedly done what you've done and the things that you're addressing in this project of yours. So Sharice is here to tell us more about that.
Yeah. So as we all know, it was alleged that Tory Lanez had been accused of shooting Meg Thee Stallion in the foot or feet, because apparently now we have hospital documents showing us that she was indeed in the hospital for both of her feet with basically bullet wounds and removal of bullets. I didn't read the whole.
Did she keep her toes?
Well, I'll get there, Tobias. So basically, he basically came through and said, I kept my silence for this amount of time. I'm not keeping silent no more. I'm gonna speak my truth. I got time today. Time out. The cockiness that I got in that statement, I was just like, yeah, whatever, dog. I'm watching the game. Like, ain't nobody thinking about you. My mind's already made up. I feel like one who's telling the truth has nothing to hide. So they're just going to come out with it, to take this time and to really create an album on subjects that I might add from the snippets that I heard on Shade Room, because I was never streaming that for myself to listen to. Just the fact that I just felt like he took the stance of, oh, y'all got me fucked up. I'm still Tory Lanez. And I didn't really appreciate that tone, especially during the time where, we basically were told something that we already knew, but we were hoping that they would change. And that's in regards to the Breonna Taylor, situation. I get choked up when I really think about that, because when the whole, we knew, I'm not sure if y'all were following it, but when I started seeing them bring out barricades and start preparing for a riot, I already knew we were going to hear what we didn't want to hear. But what hurt the most was basically, in so many ways, they were showing us how they see us as far as our value on life.
Yeah, well, we not there. We coming there. Don't go there.
Right.
Okay.
Right. But moving on, for him, as a female, to hear that type, to just see what was going on, and then to hear him say, "Oh, I'm breaking my silence," basically. I told y'all, I couldn't take the cockiness. And then to hear the little snippets on the Shade Room where everything that you're talking about is irrelevant. And then you're never fully admitting to anything. It's like you're alluding to so many different things, accusing Meg of the situation in so many ways. And I'm sitting here so now you're saying Meg's the jealous type. Now you're sitting here saying oh, Meg was trying to play you. Now it's like, okay, why are you the victim now? Why are you making yourself the victim? Why are you flipping the script as if to say, like, I didn't do nothing. Y'all all bugging. Why are y'all taking her side? Let me tell you things that she's done. And it's just like, aren't you a man? Like, why? I felt like he was being so catty and so feminine. Like, I was just like, yo, this was a true waste of time. And the only thing I could think of is that you're just looking for a come up because somebody told you now is the time. So make some music and you've got to talk about this because this is the topics that's going on. And I'm just like, that was just so whack. And then how he was just like responding to everybody that had something to say about it. I was just like, bro, if you was telling the truth, if you honestly didn't do nothing, you wouldn't be so defensive. And it's just like, me personally, I think he did do it. And I just think, you know, like he said, he's just been over here too long and you got comfortable and you're feeling yourself too much. So that's what I say on that. And I don't agree with him dropping it, even though he later comes out and says, oh, it was never about my timing as far as the Breonna Taylor stuff. Like, of course, he was tone deaf to that whole situation. He just alluded to the fact that it was like his mom's anniversary, I think, of her passing.
It was his mom's birthday.
Birthday.
No, it was her birthday and the day that she passed.
Oh, she passed on her
Oh,
birthday.
wow. She passed on her birthday.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah.
I had somebody tell me they wanted to go out like that. I had somebody tell me they said that they think it would look so cool on the tombstone. That's what they told me.
No, maybe the day after. I don't want the day of.
No, thank you. It almost makes you wonder, what were they doing on the? Never mind. So
she had cancer or something. It wasn't. It wasn't anything like that.
No, I wasn't talking about her. I wasn't.
People that.
Her. Yeah, people who like. What would you? Yeah, no.
So what are your thoughts on the situation, Tobias?
For me, I think the album "Ride." I'm just playing. I ain't listened to it. I didn't even. I didn't even. And it wasn't even like a. It was the. It's kind of like that Tekashi 6ix9ine situation when that song came out and he was talking about how his streams came up, and I was like, "How? Who's listening to it?" Like, I didn't listen to it, and so I don't know why I feel like me not listening to it makes it fly. Like,
me either.
but like my thoughts on it really is the fact that I've been silent this whole time. Nigga, you haven't been silent if you've been in the studio recording. You was planning on you was talking, you were just waiting for us to hear it. He's like, oh, they gonna hear this. I'm gonna diss them on the track. I'm 17 to be exact. And then the timing was really awful. Like when I first heard that, I don't know if y'all remember in the group chat, like the actual messages, I actually got mad. Like I got mad, like, and then I had to like, because, okay, I didn't know about his mom or anything like that. But like, just like you said, and not to delve into the Breonna Taylor thing, but just all of that going on. And then to be like, oh yeah, but me, like, nigga, shut up. So it's like, I don't know. And then it's like what Sha was saying. I feel like he got like short man syndrome or something. I mean, he is short, but he's got like short man syndrome. He's like, but what about me? And it's like, okay. It's like it's like I've heard stuff about me before, and I'm like, I didn't do that. And so then I and in my mind I think, well, my real friends will ask. Or my real friends will be like, that doesn't sound like Tobias or whatever. And then it hurts my feelings for a little bit because I'm like, why is this person saying this about me? But then after a while, I don't know, I eat some chips or something and I move on. So the point, I know this is bigger than whatever I was going through, but I can't think of myself making 17, like Nas and Jay-Z were mad at each other about stuff and they made one diss track and they kept it moving. This nigga made 17 songs, and it's like, dang, you really that hurt, bro, about allegedly something you didn't do? Like, okay, then make a statement and say you didn't do it, and then keep it
right.
but instead you looked for the come up way. And and then, you know, I kept seeing posts about like people saying like the album was actually fire or whatever.
Yeah, that was hurtful.
And I don't to them, I'm not going to diss anybody who actually listens to it, but I don't care enough. There's nothing that fire to me to make me want to be like, yeah, let me look at this or listen to this. It's nothing that fire, bro. Like, there's better music out. And to be honest, I got into a debate with a friend about, I actually had to think about it. I was like, why is Tory Lanez like dope? But like I'm not saying that I think he's dope, but like in hindsight, I was thinking like, I mean, like, do I really like his songs? And then I was like, not really. So I was just like,
they're not his songs. He's the remix king. He takes people's stuff and like, makes it into his own.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think I really. So yeah, the whole thing is like it's big cornball moves, and if this is your claim to fame or to get bigger, Tory, then you got to do better, man. Like, no, that's whack. So I would rather you go to Drake route where Drake wasn't mentioning nothing about his kid or stuff, and then you know, or yeah, Tory, it was whack, bro. So, yeah.
Keith?
In the summer of 2014.
In my mind, there was literally like a flashback, that thing that goes. I'm sorry.
Keith wanna laugh.
Go ahead.
In the summer of 2014, it was around July, or it was July. I was accused of doing something super egregious, something way out of my character, something that I would never do on my worst day. So that part hurt. Yeah, I was accused of this. And at first I'm like, no. I would never do it. So anyway, you know, I kept living my life. When the rumors started coming in, the more offended I would get. And subsequently, the more hurt I became. When I came up to see you that around that time that was happening, what did we do?
Talking about me?
Yeah.
We was making music.
We made music, and we made music about what? That situation.
Yeah, you're right.
I couldn't get it off my mind. That's all I thought about. I lived, breathed, and ate that thing so much to the point at times I thought, man, did I do these things that I was accused? And like, you know what I mean? But, you know, people tell me that that's a thing. I forget what you call it, but it's like you're inundated with this so much and everyone is telling you that you did this or accusing you of this. You start living like that. You start feeling like that, even though it's not true. And so I would always have to like replay it in my head, what was going on. That situation as an artist, as a person at that time that felt like they were like one of the best rappers ever. I felt like that at that time.
That's how we're supposed to feel.
That's how you're supposed to feel. What did I do? I did my craft. You said, Keith, you want to write something? I said, I can't write about nothing other than this.
I remember.
And I sat and I talked to y'all about it for 3 hours, and I was sick of myself. But y'all being my friends, y'all sat there and y'all listened to me. Each and every time I brought up that situation, I brought it up for like maybe 6 months straight. Like my friends would just sit there and listen to me talk. Because it was so outrageous and I was so hurt by it. Now, I listened to the first track off of that project. And I said, he sounds like me 6 years ago. He sounds like someone that is an artist and has all day to write and think about what he's going through. He writes faster than me. He writes fast, and he has all the time in the world to do just that. I got to work 2 jobs and this, that, and the third. You got all the time, and we in quarantine right now. What is we doing? Yeah. And your lawyer wants you to keep your mouth shut. What are you supposed to do as an artist? Mm-hmm. Chris Brown got into his situation, albeit guilty. He wrote, and he was in the studio, and Chris Brown is still in the studio. I'm convinced that you hearing songs from what happened back then now. Chris Brown be in the studio for hours. Imagine if you going through something as an artist. And so me knowing how vindictive and how duplicitous and how just utterly like just downright mean women can be. Many different times, many different levels.
Yeah.
I can't just come right out and say he's lying. I can't come right out and say this is ill time. I mean, I did come out. I'm like, it is ill time, but I can't tell you when to put out your craft. This Breonna stuff is happening, and I'm not making light of that at all, but it's happening and it's been happening. Him being from Canada, he didn't know when they was going to rule. We didn't know when they was going to rule. No. He was like, well, I know that I'm dropping my project. I got to tell iTunes in X amount of time so that they know when to drop it. But I don't know when they doing that.
Yeah, that's true.
So I can't come right out and say, like, but it also is funny to me. It's still funny to me. It's not lost on me that you were shot in the foot, in both feet, and none of your bones in your feet are broken. A lot of your bones, your feet have the most bones in one spot and the most veins in one spot.
It does.
And you fine.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm not here to accuse anyone. I'm not here to say this person is lying, this person is telling the truth. But I'm saying, like, when Jadena says don't call yourself a king if you don't believe Megan Thee Stallion, I'm like, fam, I reserve the right to not believe either one of these people. There's 3 sides to a story. There's your version, there's her version, and then there's the truth. So when I think about him and I think about this album that he dropped, I said, that's what an artist would do. Right, wrong, or indifferent. That's what an artist would do. Yeah. And that's all I got to say with that.
I didn't think of it that way because as you were saying it, I was thinking of that quote unquote, the word we love the most, toxic relationship I was in. Mm-hmm. And as you were saying it, I was thinking like, yeah, there's the stuff that I said that got back to me. I made light of it just now, but I realized like you said before, I'm weird. And the stuff that got back to me was horrible. It was stuff that like when like friends wasn't replying to me, like I would get, I think I talked to you about it, Keith, but like friends wasn't replying to me and stuff. And then like they could just simply be like, oh, I was busy that day. And when a friend wouldn't reply to me, I thought it was because this rumor got back to them. They believe it. And then they think I'm this person that I'm not, when really this person, she was being vindictive and hurtful. And then of course she eventually apologized, but the damage was done.
Yeah.
And then yeah, it's just like, it got to a point where like I even like Keith said, like I was like, man, like I even wrote a verse. I wrote a verse, and then the verse sounds like I did it, but I didn't. But it was like, I'm weird. Sometimes I write stuff from other people's perspectives. And I was trying to think, like, why would you think
like,
this?
why would you think this? Why would you do this? What did I do to make you feel like this was okay to do? Like, what, like, there's so many angles that you can take, and there's so many angles that your mind takes you in regards to that situation or any situation like that. And so say that she is flat out lying about all of this stuff. That's defamation of character. And I sat back for 2 months and I didn't say anything.
And that's the approach I took. Like, I didn't say nothing.
No, I'm talking. Yeah, I'm talking about Tori, right?
By Tori, yeah.
Because you are a man. Because you are a man, you don't say anything. But then, like, when it reaches this level, it's like, fam, I gotta say something. And
I've been on a podcast before, and the whole point of the podcast, I didn't notice at the time, was to troll people. And I got on the podcast, and the guy he was like trolling me and stuff like that. And he was saying all this stuff about me, and I didn't respond because that caught me off guard, because I thought he was going to just generally interview me about my music. And I went back and saw the comments. The comments did say, "Oh, he didn't respond. That means that was true." And I was like, "What? That's not
right." Right.
So,
like, yes, right. To a lot of people, it's like, that's like an admittance of guilt because you didn't say anything. It's like, no, I didn't say anything because for me and for like where I come from, I'm like, you might feel that way. Fine. Feel how you going to feel. But now it's affecting it's not just affecting my money. It's affecting my career. It's affecting people rocking with me. It's affecting people thinking that, I do this to women, especially in this climate. It's never appropriate. It's never appropriate. It's never appropriate. I want that to be clear. It's never appropriate to put your hands on a woman, to shoot a woman, to rape a woman in no circumstance. Let that be clear. No. So, right, no means no. What I'm saying is, like, bam, for them to think that of me, that's crazy. And I was quiet for 2 months. When I say I'm him, I mean Tory Lanez. You know what I mean? Me, I'm like, the people that accuse me, I was on some, like, anybody that knows me and they feel a certain way about it, they gotta come to me and ask me. Otherwise, y'all just saying all types of crazy stuff. I pinpointed the people that I needed to talk to, and I said, I just need to talk to you, and I need to talk to you. Other than that, that's fine. Anybody that was a friend of mine, they knew not to come to me with that, did you do it? No one that was a friend of me ever came to me and say, did you do it? Because they knew my character. They knew I didn't do it. They like, yo, I heard this. They bugging. They wilding. Yep. No, never that. Like, it was never like, well, did you? Well, what happened? Instead, like, what's your side of the story? It was never that. You know what I mean? So when you get him, who was on a much bigger scale with people that don't know who he is and don't know him personally and can't attest to him, or you got people like he was saying in one of his songs, I didn't hear this song. It was a snippet where he was talking about Kalani and he was talking about JoJo. He was like, fam, if you, this was a good point. He said, fam, if you're going to take me off the album, take me off the original version. Don't take me off the deluxe. Take me off the original version. You took me off the deluxe version. I'm still on the original. Take me off. If you serious about it, do that. And then he was like, Kalani, I held your newborn baby. We've been rocking for 6 years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, you got those type of situations happening. I'm not mad at someone like that. I don't think that he exploded. I think he did what artists do and made an album.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, when you broke it down like that, I guess being an artist myself, I honestly was sitting here like, oh yeah.
I was looking at you like, T, you an artist, you already know.
Yeah, because I've got some stuff that's just like will never see the light of day, but I wrote it out of angst and anger and just like out of those situations. And also, I want to say this, like anybody who's like ever like seriously knows me knows I have nothing but sisters, and know my sisters are mean as hell. Mm-hmm. And know like my sisters have told like ex-girlfriends and stuff like that. Like, oh, if my brother do this, I'll handle him. And they aren't playing. And so then for the fact that the fact that this person, like the person that did all of this, they know they're not welcome around, like, because they know like it's just as well as my sisters would handle me for say, if I did anything like that, they'll handle them for lying about it.
And I say this, and I'll be done, and Sharice can close it out. I sat back for so long. Number one, because I'm like, this ain't true, and I had faith in the truth. You know what I mean? I had faith in the idea or in the thought that the truth will set you free and all of that type of stuff. And I was like, this isn't true. Somehow this is going to come out where this ain't the truth. But no matter what, like stuff like that, that's always going to be like, it's always going to be like a scarlet letter A on you somehow, even if it ain't true. You know what I'm saying? So like him, like say he didn't come out and do it. Say he didn't do it. And crazily enough, something else happened. They still gonna always be able to have that in their holster to come at him with and say, well, you did this.
Yeah.
But for me, it was like the truth, you know what I mean? And so, you know, later on, like, and I'll say this, the truth is always quieter than the lie sometimes. It's a lot, because people like rumors. Like the rumor is always louder than the actual truth. You know what I mean? So when the truth came out and these people that were accusing me recanted their statements or said, well, we weren't clear. This is actually what happened. No, he's not this person. That wasn't nearly as loud.
Yeah.
That wasn't nearly as loud because people like salacious news. People like stuff that defames a person or disparages a person. People like things that don't paint people in good lights. People like to see people fall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That is facts.
That is facts.
That is facts.
I honestly, don't crucify me. I honestly listen to everything, and I listen to MGK's new rock album, Tickets to My Downfall, and I actually liked it. And that title in itself is like, that's kind of like deep. Like here's like people will pay tickets to watch your downfall. Watch your downfall.
Like people like to see a rise, like Scarface. People love that.
Mm-hmm.
People like to see the rise and fall.
Mm-hmm.
We gonna build you up. Why we building you up so much? And like, why do we love stories when famous people aren't doing so well?
Those stories make me sad, actually. Yeah.
I really don't want LeBron to win this championship. Sharice, you got any closing remarks or we moving on?
I'm just gonna say this. Okay, even if you are saying that, what if he didn't do it? I just don't see why she would go to these depths, like with the injuries and the ER paperwork and the whole nine. I'm not saying that she's 100% telling the truth. I do believe that this was a, I don't even know what to properly call this when you're like messing with somebody, but like, you don't really want to go there with them. What do you call that? Playing?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, you playing around? I don't know. Okay,
playing?
But I just think, oh no, I think he really likes her for sure.
Oh yeah,
and I think that's why his feelings were hurt. But I think Meg is just like riding her success right now, and it's just like anybody. Like you gotta remember, she's young. You know what I mean? She's young. She's rich. She's getting all this attention and the whole nine. But what I do think is like something happened. I wasn't there. None of us was there. Only them who were in that SUV know exactly what happened. But I do think like something went terribly wrong, and I'm not. I just think they like, you know how they be like, stop playing with that lighter, but you keep doing it and you accidentally light something on fire and you panic. You try to put it out quick. that's how I looked at that situation. Y'all fooling around, like hanging out, having a good time, not really claiming one another, but then things got intense and y'all lost control of it.
Yeah.
And then it was just like somebody hurt somebody. Whether she pulled out the gun first and he tried to grab it and it ended up firing awkwardly on her foot, or whatever it may be, I just think they lost control of the situation. That's just me.
Mm-hmm.
Whether he did it or not, I always say don't put yourself in situations where you're not in control. And I get it sometimes, like you are in situations where you be like, yo, I couldn't do nothing but that. I think they both knew that they were probably should have called this quits a long time ago. But it's something about when you're messing with somebody you shouldn't be messing with that keeps you coming. Like I'm gonna keep like fooling around with it until something horrible happens. And then you're like, I knew I should have left it. I should have left a long time ago. And I think they reached that point, and it's just on a bigger scale because they're both celebrities. But I keep saying, where was their security? Like, what? I was just like, why are y'all carrying guns? I'm so confused. Like that will forever blow my mind. But that's not here nor there. I just don't want people to be tone deaf to a Black woman saying that something happened to her, and that's not, at the very least, be sensitive about it. I'm not saying, right. I'm not saying like don't believe her. I mean, if you're a Tory Lanez fan, you're a Tory Lanez fan. Do you? But just don't be completely deaf to what's going on. I'd rather you listen. I'm not going to listen to it because I feel like he should have talked a long time ago. But hearing Keith's side of the story, I'm definitely like, oh, okay. But it's really weird because it's like he talked to people too. Like people was mad at T.I., people was mad at somebody else, and I'm just like hearing it from Keith. Maybe because I was one of those friends Keith talked to, and I'm like, I completely understand why Keith took that route. Like I'm like, absolutely. Me personally, I'm always ready for war when it comes to Keith. So it's just like, where's she at? You know what I mean? Like. He was like, no, Shaw, I just need you to listen. And I sat there and I listened and I said, that's cruel. Like, I don't understand why somebody would want to do that to somebody. But, it's just the world we live in. So,
and to your point, I want to say this, the point that you made, like, sometimes it's like, well, why would she go to those lengths? But sometimes people go to those lengths so that people can say, why would they go to those lengths?
I know somebody. I don't like this person. I y'all know I don't use the word hate. I might actually like. No, I'm not gonna say it. But it's a like I know somebody who literally like at my old job. This doesn't involve me, but they went to those lengths. They faked abuse. They faked depression. They faked miscarriage. They faked all kinds of stuff to tarnish somebody's name that they was kind of having like a thing with, and then this person went back to this person ended it and went back to his wife, and it was like some movie stuff. Like this person just went to its stint after its stint, and then of course this person ended up the person who was doing all that they ended up getting fired because the truth came out and stuff. But it was like they were updated status and just they were just vindictive and hurtful and it kind of, in a way, I don't want to get into it, but my situation, it kind of reminds me of that. Like, you just think like, why would this person be this way? But sometimes some people, it's something in them that it kind of goes back to that what you said about like, don't get yourself into a situation that you can't control. Some people get themselves into situations that they can't control because they can't control the person, and then they do anything like to manipulate, control, and then if they can't have you, they'll break you, and then it's like something twisted up there. This is like I'm gonna break you if I can't have you, and it's like, what's wrong with you?
Yep.
And then also
going through that right now.
Also, lastly, thing I want to say is I don't know if you know this, Shy. Keith knows this. I like to run, and there have been times where like I feel like a slight pain in my foot from running, sometimes, and then it turns into like a massive pain if I don't like cater to the foot. And I know for a fact there are so many tiny little bones in your foot that like I'm like, oh, this hurts a little bit. And next thing I know, my friends will be like, sit down, I won't. Next thing I know, I'm limping off of that little bone in my foot. So, like he said, you get shot in your foot, something's gonna F up. Like so yeah, that's crazy. I don't know the details.
Well, maybe she wasn't shot. Maybe she was gleazed. Like, no, I'm just playing.
I don't know.
It's a messy story. It's messy. Like, you know what I mean? So, it's very messy.
When we come back, another messy story that we're going to talk about, the Breonna Taylor, can I say verdict? But hey guys, fear not. There is a silver lining here. Breaking news. There is silver lining. Breaking news. We're going to play Who Sampled It, and we're going to do a little thank God for the group chat version of I Pray This Helps with Revelation chapter 1. Tobias is yawning, so we're going to make this quick.
That wasn't like a sign.
We'll be right back. No, I know it's not. I know it's not. I yawned one time. Sharice left. I yawned one time in class in the second grade. And my teacher thought I was bored. And she snapped. Am I boring? I'm like, no, I really needed to yawn. I'm sorry.
I had a teacher snap in class one time and she started tap dancing and she was actually really good. And so now anytime somebody snap, I'm like, oh, you gonna start tap dancing, but nobody knows the reference but me. So it's just always weird.
It's crazy. We'll be right back. Peace.